Hello and welcome, I'm DDF Racer, and today I'm going to be going through the highlights from round 1 of the Virtual Le Mans Cup, or VLMC season. Now this is going to be a highlights video from the race, and as you can see on screen it was a bit of a wet race too. The vast majority of practice heading into this event was in the dry, so most people here are heading into the unknown with no practice on a wet track whatsoever, or very limited practice at least. Now, we're here at Sepang in Malaysia, and I'm driving the Aston Martin GT3 car, the number 67 car for Zansho. No driver changes planned in this 2-hour race. Well, it was meant to be a 2-hour race. It originally started, and about 30 minutes in there was a mass disconnect from the server, so race control red flagged the race and restarted using grid order. So here we are in 9th position. Well, on the formation lap, Christian Riva actually stopped, so we're immediately up to 8th as the green flag drops here in Sepang. Now, with the distance shortened to 1 hour 20, this is going to make it pretty interesting, because in the dry, a fuel stint is about an hour, so you could make it on one pit stop theoretically in a 2-hour race, but in the wet, it was a little bit unknown. Now, estimates said about 1 hour 15 on a full tank, so with a bit of fuel saving, was it possible? Now, the tyres were going to last. There's absolutely no deg on the wet tyres, but with a bit of fuel saving, it could be pretty tight. Anyway, heading off the line, Roman Ivanov behind us, and the number 51 Witchwood car is immediately applying the pressure. Now, the first half of the race, I was pretty confident, but this restarted version now with 1 hour 20 to go, he's got the jump on me. As we cut ahead in the footage, heading into lap 2, he's all over me going down the main straight, so he sneaks up the inside, but then changes and switches back to the outside heading into turn 1. I hold the apex nice and tight. He does try and go around the outside. I give him all the space, but he's going to have the inside going into turn 2, so I do give him a little bit more space. I don't cut back to the apex. Anyway, hold on the position, only just though. Now it's very tight. It's very tight. There's lots of battles. The GT3s in this field are still quite tightly compacted. So, yeah, there's not much of a pace between us. My teammates in the other Zansho cars, Olivier Fortin, he's up in 3rd, and James Johnson is directly ahead of me in 7th. So, yeah, actually saying that, James is up to 6th, I believe, by this point, and Olivier is up to 2nd due to the dropout on the first lap. So lots of battles, GT3s are going at it, very treacherous conditions, very tricky to hold on to it. Although we do have traction control and ABS. You can see that Roman is all over the back of me still. I'm not able to get away from him. He's looking this way, he's looking that way. It's less than half a second. It's going to be a long race if he carries this on, applying the pressure as he goes into the hairpin. He's so close to the back of me, but just can't make him move. But I do have the better drive. We're both in the Aston Martins here, so it's pretty equal pegging, and I just need to settle down and just get into my flow for the race, just get into my rhythm. I do have the pace here. I set pretty good times in practice, but yeah, just racing around other cars, I do need to get the confidence up. That is one of my weaknesses, as Roman runs a little bit wide behind us there. Anyway, if we skip ahead the footage, all the GT3s are pretty close together. Heading into lap 6, you can see there, 1st position, 2nd position, and all of a sudden 3rd and 4th going side by side, banging doors, 5th, 6th, 7th, and then there's us in 8th position, holding on to 8th. Roman is still behind us for 9th, but the GT3s are just nose to tail. Anyway, heading on further on the lap, Olivier goes for a move on one of the LMP3s and tags him and spins around, so he did make a bit of an advantage heading up the road in 2nd position, but now he's straight back into the battle pack. 3rd, 4th, 5th, it's behind James now. James in the Zansho, the other Zansho car has got him, and the Speedy Mite GT3, the McLaren is trying to get him on the inside, heading into the fast left-right. That's never going to work though. I think that's Andy Dixie. He backs out of it and lives to fight another day. Anyway, moving on to lap 8 now. We're heading into turn 1, and we're behind Jack Brown in the number 67 Seawolf Net Race Motorsport car. But look, he just pops up behind us. I think there was a slight connection issue with the server there, maybe hints of what happened before. So we're on the inside, we're behind Jack, and we hold on to the position from Roman. So even with the funky positioning of the cars there, we hold on to our place. Anyway, moving on to lap 10, heading into the final corner now. Andy Dixie in the 84 Speedy Mite runs a little bit wide. Now he's battling with Jack, so we make our move. We're looking right behind them heading into lap 11. Now can I take advantage of this? He's running wide, so we hold a nice tight apex. Hold it nice and tight on the inside, which becomes the outside for turn 2. Just don't have the overlap, unfortunately. But I can see he's weak. I can see he's got the pace. We've dropped Roman behind us a little bit, so time to make a move. At this point of the race, I was thinking I should probably try up into turn 4. Didn't quite realise how late I was on the brakes. We just avoid him, and we almost go into the Porsche ahead of us. So close not to make contact there. So if we just take a replay for a moment, we're driving on board with Paolo Tedolini, the number 65 Busters E-Race. You can see it's 2 cars behind in the blue Zansho. Lay on the brakes, storming up the inside. Almost going to get him on the inside, just avoid contact. Unintentional dive bomb there, just a little bit too late on the brakes, and I can't even make it stick on the speedy mic. Anyway, skip forward a lap now into lap 12. I've sized up Andy from the previous lap, and he runs wide, so I take it on the inside of turn 1, and I know I'm going to have to go the long way round into turn 2. Just about hold it tight. It's going to be close, but I've got the run coming through the kink onto turn 3, and we get the position, so we're now up to 7th in the race. Roman's not having a bar of it. He wants to follow it through, so he's looking. I can get 8th position now. So he sneaks up the inside into turn 4, nice and late on the brakes, which is how you should do it. pay attention for the future, Dan. But yeah, he's got the position. It's so close between the two. But if we take another look, have a little replay, go into turn 1, you can see Andy's on the outside there. We're holding it nice and tight. Now he's going to have the advantage to turn 2. So close to contact, but we do avoid touching there. And we make up the position into position 6. So now, lap 13, we're closing down on Adam Karzakowski in the number 88 Sakura Racing. He runs wide into turn 1, so I try and make another spot, but I can't make it work, so I fall back in line, and Roman just comes in like a missile behind us, tags us on the rear left, makes us have a little bit of a wiggle. Let's have a replay. Let's have a look. He comes out of nowhere. Now he can see that the Porsche head has gone wide, and he can see that I'm fighting for position. I just tag back, and he just sends it into turn 2. He's never going to make it stick, never going to get the car slowed down. We got a slight bit of damage now, but we do carry on, heading on to lap 14. This obviously puts Roman all over the case behind us. Now he's sizing me up, going to turn 9. He's going to move to the inside. Oh, he takes a dive, he's looking at it. He's looking at it now, he's got the speed, he's managed to pull the car up nicely. I try and get the cut back. Going to get on the outside here, but this is going to be on the outside all through turn 10 and 11. He just pushes me wide, but not too wide onto the grass. Very fair defense there from Roman. And he gets the position. So I fall back in line. At this point of the race, I'm thinking, I can't lose any more places. Andy's right behind me in the speedy mic, so I'm back to where I started pretty much. But Roman runs wide. Now this, I can make it stick again, so I hold it nice and tight. Get a good drive out of turn 14, I believe, all the way down the back straight. Got the slipstream, got a better drive. Thinking about a move, should I go to the outside, should I go to the inside? Think about the outside, but tag back at the very last moment on the apex of the final hairpin. And slowing it down, just park it on the apex rather cheaply, so he can't get the drive going down the main straight. Well, at least I didn't think so anyway. He does have a bit of an advantage as we now head into lap 15. We're on board with Andy in the speedy mode behind us, and you can see that Roman's trying to move on the outside, but we're holding it nice and tight. So now Andy in the speedy mode is thinking maybe this could be my chance. And in a role reversal, Roman gets tagged, just a slight tap on the rear left there, and he keeps going, so call that a bit of karma if you will. Now moving on to lap 16. Time to blow all of my advantage. Running wide. Seems to be a habit in these races. As soon as I get a good run, I throw it all away. But no, heading down the back straight. I did manage to get back on track and not lose too much time. And now we've got the run, but we're on the outside. This is the long way around. This is never going to work. So I just plan on going super deep. Focus on an exit, a good exit, and get the cutback. See, Andy in the speedy match trying the same on me as well. So we almost go 3 wide coming onto the main straight. But I hold the position. Heading on to lap number 17. We're going 3 wide into turn 1 almost. I just cut him off at the nose, say I'm going to get robust with the defense and just hold it tight on turn 1. Anyway, moving on to lap 18. Cut back up to Adam ahead of me in the Sakura car, no problem. Got a massive target painted on the back of his car. The only problem with that, I've got nowhere to go. It's battle of 5th position. I'm in 6th, he's in 5th. The rain started to ease off a bit, but the Porsche is amazing on the acceleration. I'm great on the brakes. I have so much speed going into the corners, but as soon as we leave a corner, he just takes off like a rocket ship. I just can't get anywhere near him, and he just builds up too much of a gap out of the corners. I just can't make advantage of it at all. Now, skipping forward to lap 34, I'm still stuck, 23, sorry, lap 23, I'm still stuck behind him, but he runs wide going into the turn 9 hairpin. Can't capitalise, his exit is too good again. That Porsche just gets off the corner quickly. Next lap, lap 24, started to rain a little bit harder, and he does exactly the same again. Runs wide, and I just can't take advantage, just can't capitalise. He's got the drive. I'm starting to get a little bit frustrated now as we skip ahead to lap 28. Still stuck behind him, and now the LMP3s are starting to come through, so Adam has to yield. Adam's getting blue flags ahead of us. He's getting the blue flags waved. Just let the car pass, let the car pass. He's not being too cooperative. He's going to the outside. He's giving him a bit of space on the apex. Now, this is Luca Burke in the number 5. Speedy my LMP3 just tags him on the inside. It's very cheeky from Adam. Shouldn't have taken back on the apex. You can see Luca is flashing the headlights there. It's all getting a bit messy. All the while this is happening, I'm sat behind them watching, thinking this is going to end in tears. This is not going to end well. Now, Luca is still stuck behind him. Adam's getting so many blue flags here, and Luca decides, right, you know what? I'm going to send it up the inside of T14, and he's got the move done. You can see he's up the inside. Adam is on the outside, but he tags him. He takes out the LMP3. Oh no, let's take another replay of that. So Luca's got the position, Adam's nice and wide. Now, as the GT3, you should be leaving plenty of space. There's no need to cut back to the apex, but he does, and tags him on the rear left, sends Luca into the gravel, and yeah, race direction gets hold of that, and is probably going to give him a penalty. Anyway, next lap, or next couple of laps, lap 30, it's our turn to get lapped by the LMP3. This is Arjen Veltens in the number 50 Scuderia Leone. Very hesitant to get past me. You can see he tried on the apex there. Now heading into the next corner, I give him all the room on the apex. Pull all the way over to the left hand side of the track, and I'm just backing out of it. I'm just slowing down, going, go on, take the position. And he just cuts straight across the apex and sends us both spinning. I was chasing after Adam in P5, it was so close. Let's take another replay. Holding it on the apex, and he just cuts across my nose. Sends us both pirouetting on the slippy track surface into the gravel. Now we ride on board, you can actually see I'm just out of it completely. I'm all the way over to the left, and he just comes across the nose. We take another look at it from the external view. Watch the brake lights. Just watch the brake lights here. Braking on the straight to try and give him the advantage, and he just takes his normal racing line. Now on board from his position, you can see as well, to be fair, he probably thinks he's got the move done, and all of a sudden, whack! And there's a Zansho number 67 Aston Martin. Anyway, back on track, but I've lost my focus, heading towards the final corner, lap 30, and this one's on me. Completely missed my braking point and tagged the rear of the number 77 Pushrod Racing Audi ahead of me, sending him into a spin, but me into the barriers. Now I've got significant front end damage at the moment. He braked earlier, I braked later. So you watch on board from him in 6th position, you can see he's on the brakes. And there we go, just closing. Now I try and avoid him, I try and steer off the track, but by then it's too late. And I've got nowhere to go. And that's pretty much it, to be honest. Now he only does drop his position down to 7th. Now, here we go. Replay on board from my perspective. You can see it's in slow motion, brake lights are on. I start to go into the apex, realizing, yep, I'm too late. He starts to go to the apex as well, so I change back. I go to the outside, but the closing speed, yeah, it's just too great, and I tag him on the rear, and that's pretty much game over, to be honest with you. Pretty much game over. So, from 5th to 6th to 7th, back down to 8th, back into the barriers, and we watch again from the external camera. Just that's on me. Heading straight into the back of Farron there, no good. Now I can reverse it and get back into the race, but I'm down in 9th position. So close to 5th now, feeling pretty dejected at this point of the race. But do you remember what I said about strategy before? Heading on to lap 31, turns out some people didn't make the fuel saving work. as Mantas Rekas in the number 73 Team Rookie Monsters car heads into the pits. He had to stop for fuel. So there's one more position as I cross the line and he comes into his box. So from 9th back up to 8th with a heavily damaged Aston Martin. Now riding back on board with Ferrin in the number 77 pushrod. He's taking it to turn 1. Adam has come in and stopped for fuel as well. He's come straight out of the pits. Adam in the Porsche behind us just goes straight into the back of the Audi and sends him spinning. So Adam's at his Adam's at his tricks again, and I just feel sorry for Ferrin. He's had 2 bumps in the rear in pretty much 2 corners. How unlucky can you get? Anyway, watching the replay rearwards, just way too much speed going into turn 2. There's nowhere that he could have gone really. He was always going to go into the back. But fast forward the lap and Ferrin has another spin, heading around the apex of turn 12, I believe, and he loses it. Probably with the rear end damage from the 2 taps, but what that means is we're now up to 7. Watch the replay, takes the curb, loses the rear, and round it goes. And that's us going past in the background for 7th position. So it's a couple of freebies and a couple of laps. Lap 33. Now Adam has already come in for fuel, but like I said before, race director Sean Jacobs handing out the penalties for his move on the LMP3. So Adam has to come in for a stop-go penalty. Now, I was very surprised to see this at this point of the race because I didn't expect to see him coming in the pits. I thought he'd already been in. I didn't realise he had a penalty. So, and you can see the number on the car change from 7th to 6th, which gives us 6th position. Wow, so, lap 34, final lap, 1 hour 20 here at Malaysia. Coming round with a very heavily battered and bruised car, but still going in one piece, mostly. Many people fallen by the wayside. It could have been much better, but it was a finish in incredibly tricky conditions, not to mention driving at 2 AM in the morning here in Brisbane. Big shout out to my teammates though, Olivier and James, who finished 3rd and 2nd respectively. Good haul of points for the Zanshos, but unfortunately Lorenzo Arisi in the number 87 Waveframe Esports, he was just too quick for all of us. Big congratulations on the win, mate. Also, big congratulations to Luca D'Amelio taking overall victory in the LMP3 class. Huge respect for keeping it on the track in such bad conditions with no ABS or traction control either. But yeah, that was round 1 of the VLMC. Pretty exciting stuff, although a little bit disjointed with the whole server disconnect, red flag, restart, that kind of thing. If you didn't manage to catch the race live, then I'll put a link to the full replay in the description, but hopefully this highlights video gives you a little bit of an idea of what the VLMC is all about. Hell of a lot of fun. Great racing. I intend to do a lot better next time. There's lots of things I could have improved on in that race, to be honest. My overtaking, as we can see the results on the screen now. Feel free to press pause and peruse at your own leisure. But yeah, Team Rookie Monsters, look at the video. Good spot, mate. Zansho, 2nd, 3rd and 6th. Great haul of points. Yeah, I need to work on my overtaking. I need to work on my racing in the pack. As we can see the overall point standings here, which are going to be pretty much the same. Because it's round 1. And the points are the same as the positions. So yeah, next race, moving forwards. November 23rd at the Nurburgring. I can't even speak. The Nurburgring, 4 PM Central European time. It's 3 PM UK, 1 AM Brisbane time. Yay! I'll be live streaming the whole thing, so if you don't want to miss it, make sure you subscribe and press the bell notification. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.